Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of The Amazing Spider-Man issue 17. Pretty cool cover here. Now granted, it doesn't accurately reflect what's kind of going on, but Spidey is in limbo, and this is kind of a weird issue. Now granted, it still follows what's going on from like Dark Web and the previous issue. It's just there's a lot of different kind of things going on in this one. So if you're like, it's not hard to follow, but you're like, okay, we're going through a lot of stuff. So we pretty much see that Ben's whole kind of thing is to set up a kind of fake New York down here and have Pete go through his day. We see demons acting like humans, which they're kind of like confused about. I mean, they think it's kind of funny, but they're still like, why the fuck do we have to do this? With like a shark one pretty much threatening to bite one's head off while Pete's like, hey, don't do that shit. And he's like, fuck that. He's like, I don't like wearing these human clothes and shit. And Pete just like punches him out and he runs away. He's like, I didn't hit him that hard. And we now get that this one demon is pretty much like, oh shit, you're a Parker Pete man. And is now kind of like enthralled fan-wise because Pete saved him. So then we pretty much see Jameson trying to deal with his situation. I think Jameson's is kind of like the best kind of part of this, where he is just dumbfounded of how do I deal with this situation, because they're trying to make him do stuff that he would do in the Daily Bugle in actual New York, be madder, shouting at people. They're actually threatening him and shit like that. It's like, and then of course Pete's trying to kind of help him, and he's like, you know what happens to John Man and all your friends if you don't do your work. He's like, fine, alright. And then he starts yelling that he wants tasty pics of Spider-Man and shit, as the demons are like, alright. And Pete's like, you're gonna pay for this, Ben. I'm like, yep. And we see that this is Ben's idea of trying to break Pete and to willingly accept eating this apple, this fruit, to pretty much have his soul pretty much taken by Ben. And it's like, alright, yeah, I would think that there would be more effective ways for Ben to do this. But granted, there could be other ways that he's working behind the scenes or whatnot. Pete's like, I know you think I stole something from you, but I didn't. And Ben's just like, all you gotta do is take a bite, you can end this, your friends go home and everything. It's like, yeah, but you already started opening up demon portals and stuff like that. You're not gonna stop just because you get Pete's soul. And he's like, I'm not playing along. You won't break me. And then, of course, Pete calls his bluff. He's like, nah, I think you gotta have me actually willingly eat that thing. And you're losing your mind if you think I'm gonna do that. And he's like, I'll never let you leave, Peter. I don't plan on asking for permission. Now, granted, this little exchange I really like because it shows that both are in a kind of they are going for their way or the highway kind of approach, and Pete's not having it. He's like, I'm not going to give you what you want. I'm going to get my friends out. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do this my way. And it's like, all right, Pete, let's kind of see how you do this. And then we pretty much shift over and see that Ben is utilizing the demons to make himself his own kind of Sinister Six, turning them into like Scorpion and Goblin and all the rest octopus knockoffs. Pryor's like, just make sure you understand, I'm mainly just loaning you the demons. Don't get too comfy. He's like, when have I forgotten anything? And she's, of course, like, what do you call them? And they're going to be the Insidious Six. We've got Dr. Octoball, the Grave Goblin, Triceratops, Kraken the Hunter, Lazaro, and the Gorpion. Now, granted, those names and everything work out pretty well. And, I mean, granted, this page is fucking great and really showcases them. And I would actually be interested to see a kind of battle thing go down, like, between Spider-Man and these guys, but also, like, these guys and the Sinister Six, and see how that kind of works out. It's like, okay. And then, of course, we see that the demon who has pretty much become a fan is now Parker Man. He's like, hey, I'm their mortal enemy, and I hear you're handing out powers. Can I have one? Like, have powers and everything? Man, I was like, oh, shit, I got my own fucking shit to attend to. You deal with this. And then Ben's like, we don't need somebody playing Parker. Like, his exasperation with it, I'm just like, yeah, this is something that I didn't think was going to happen, and I'm pretty sure you didn't think was going to happen. He's like, he's got this backwards. We need more villains, not heroes. Get out of here. He's like, I'll have to fight another day as he runs away. And Ben's just like, what the fuck? So then we kind of take a detour. We see that Jonah is dealing with what a demon kind of apartment would be like, where it's like, you could use me to, like, tickle your teeth, and I could pluck them out, and I'll spit on your face to make it clean. It's like, no thank you. His bed's even alive, and it's like, I'm just standing here. And then he hears a tap, 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 and we see that Pete's on the side. He plays pretty much dumb with the bed, and he's like, listen, alright, I got a plan. And Jonah's like, does it involve eating a piece of fruit because that really wants you to eat that? It's like, that's how he wants to steal my soul. Which sounds impossible and absurd, but down here, maybe not so much, as Jonah's like, I do like him, Pete and Jonah kind of like working together with this kind of thing. It's like, alright, thing is, they're still attacking New York City. They have to have a way to travel from here from there. There you go, Peter. So he's like, alright, I'm going to figure out how they're catching a ride, just wait for my signal, and I'll get my suit kind of back together. And then we see, of course, Parker Man being like, alright, which then takes another kind of detour where evidently he has not learned how to do magic from his family, and his brother's like, hey, I'll help you out with this. It's like, oh, okay? Because the help I'm thinking of just might kill you too. Either way, I'm going to end up being Dad's favorite. Come on, what are you waiting for? It's like, granted, I understand Limbo and demons and everything have kind of different kind of systems and stuff like that, but I'm like, okay. And evidently he shrunk him down, and evidently this links up with like Venom issue 13. This dude evidently got a bit of symbiote, does some kind of magic to make it into like a Spidey suit symbiote thing. Because he got so much, he shrunk him down. He's like, what the heck? Yeah, I'm supposed to put the clothes on, not clothes put me on. You got it backwards, as he then gets absorbed kind of by the symbiote. And then we see Jonah kind of do his own thing, that he's kind of got that fire back, being like talking about a red hot story and talking about how there's actual demons going to attack the real New York, and the other demons are like, damn, we're out on this, and he's able to use kind of reverse psychology to pretty much have them trying to like figure out what's kind of going on. And Robbie's like, I can't believe that worked. Like, his facial expression is just great on that. It's like, shit, I can't. It wasn't all that hard to get inside their heads, I bet. What about Peter? He was able to make it out, but don't worry, he sent for me. As we then see Spidey. Granted, I love the fucking artwork. Like, I love how they portray, like, Peter looks great in this art style, but like Spidey there, just fucking good shit right there. So they're pretty much just going to be tracking the riled up demons, but as they are, they get attacked by the Insidious 6. And Pete's just like, sure, why not? Of course this is going to be happening. Hello, Crawl Waller. He's like, not even close. Like, Pete's even like, this? Really? Alright. As he's then pretty much dodging the Gorpion, the Grave Goblin, and the Octoball dude. But then he gets kind of like hit by Ceratops, and is almost pretty much going to get taken out by like the Kraken dude. Careful with that thing, someone could lose an eye. No shit. Not so fast, huh? Why does this keep getting weirder? And I'm with Pete, I'm like, this is fucking strange as shit. They said they didn't need another Parker. That I had it backwards. So say hello to Wreck Rap. As we see this beefy fucking dude. And it's just like, trust me. This all, I'm like, not expecting that. As we see a like Venom suit-like thing. I'm just like, alright. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. And how he kind of like helps. I'm just like, not that it was like bad or anything, it's just, it took turns that I did not expect. I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. The main things that I really liked was Jonah like trying to kind of like handle his situation of like, what the fuck's kind of going on, and then working with Pete to kind of like come up with a plan of kind of like escape. And of course Ben and Peter's kind of stuff with the whole kind of fruit and everything. Everything else was just kind of like, okay, it did flesh it out, and I like that, but I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm like, alright, interesting to see demons acting as humans, them making the Insidious Six, Madeline Pryor just being like, I let you do your thing, and you're doing some weird ass shit, Jasmine. What the fuck? It's really interesting because yes, they're partners, but when your partner's just like looking at you like, what are you fucking doing? I mean, granted, I will use my demons to effective advantage, but like, this is getting into some weird shit. And then we've got the other demon that's like fanboying over Peter, and then becomes Wreck Rap. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm just like, this was definitely surprising and took turns that I never fucking saw, so we'll see kind of how this goes out and how this kind of handles. Let's see this. We'll have him some more dealing with it in the next kind of issue, so we'll kind of have to see how this kind of goes and when kind of Dark Web kind of ends up before we start getting more. Hopefully we'll get some more information on the whole stuff that kind of kicked off this thing. It's kind of funny because this had some inciting incident of like what Peter Parker did. It's like, alright, I don't need it to happen like the first issue, but you need a little bit of movement on it. Whereas with Fantastic Four, the next issue we're going to understand what happened with the Fantastic Four and why they broke up, with what's kind of going on as they're kind of being brought back together. So I'm like, okay, that works, because that's like 4 issues versus now we're on 17 with another kind of event going on. So I'm not hating this. It's just like, okay, we gotta, like, instead of like getting answers for certain kind of plates that are spinning and like introducing new plates, we just keep adding new plates. It's like, okay, watch out here. So we'll kind of have to see where this goes. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.